It's the People's Podcast Show with Adrian Biddle, Melissa Bartlett, and your boy Kerry Bixby. It's your show, so tell us what you want to talk about. It's the At the Round Table Podcast Show.
I love our intro music. I'll be jamming.
Yeah, make your shoulders want to roll with your shoulders a little bit. I feel you. I enjoy it too. Well, family, it's that time again. We are 2/3 of At the Round Table coming at you. And I'm not going to take your lines. I'm going to let you say how eloquently you be phrasing it as far as just being here and looking forward to getting this thing kicked off.
Yes, yes, yes. It is Wednesday, middle of the week, hump day. Me and A Money have been kind of going back and forth on topics in life, and
Hmm. Hmm.
it's just what it is, you know. Um, my kids they still say sometimes, I don't like adulting. And
Yeah.
I am at a point in my life where I'm saying I don't like adulting right now. But you know what? We don't have a choice. We can't go backwards. So the
Yes.
2/3 missing my brother Kerry, but being able to be here with you and our viewers, it always gives me what I need to get through the rest of the week. And
Hmm.
sometimes just to get through the rest of the day, like y'all have no idea. So I'm super, super psyched about tonight. And we got A Money, aka Mr. Biddle, aka Delectable Decibels.
y'all gonna y'all gonna drop that. Hey, but I appreciate the introduction. And again, we are 2/3 of At the Round Table, and introducing the other half is the one, again, like I said last week, the one that sets the table, the one that keeps us, me and CD, in line, is the one, the only Miss Pitbull.
Mm-mm.
If you will, put some respect on that name. Put some respect on that name. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So, bro, what we gonna talk about tonight? What we gonna talk about with the peoples?
Oh, well, you brought up a good idea. And quick, and you brought up, Carrie, real quick. Please keep the Dixby family in your prayers.
Yes,
And we really all need it, but especially keep them in your prayers as well.
yes, yes, yes.
But transitioning back into what you were just now asking, and I thought it was a good topic that you brought up, is when life issues hit you hard, how do you reset? When
Reset Wednesday.
reset Wednesday. I like that. I like that. So, how do you reset, Melissa? And
Mm.
I'll follow behind you and give a couple of things I try to do too that's sometimes helpful.
So recently I have really gotten into meditating, um, being quiet, being still in a quiet place. Um, so I can just be at a place of receiving, if need be, direction. Sometimes it's just to kind of just calm my mind. That's been taken over lately.
Hmm.
Um, Sometimes it's going outside, it's getting in the sun, having that direct sunlight on me definitely helps. Um, Taking a walk, or I'll watch humor because laughter does it is medicine for the soul. And so I watch a movie or I'll stream, different TikToks, Facebook, Instagram, things that make me feel good, that brings joy. Those are some of the things that I do. Um, if it's a little, if it's heavy, if
Mm-hmm.
it's a day that's heavy, you know, um, to keep from going to sleep, because that's one of the body's way of, kind of just shutting down. Um, I put on gospel music, and I do pray, because I've never been shy to our viewers that, I have been diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And while I have a handle on it and function with it every day, so it's a part of my life, but it doesn't control my life. Um, Having that, it makes it hard sometimes when life feels like being a bully. That's the best way to say it. It's like it
Yes.
feels like life is a bully.
You are absolutely right about that. It can and somewhat does feel like that from time to time. Those were some good ones. Me personally, I shoot. It seems like obstacles be slapping me left and right every day some of the time. But I do similar things like yourself. I go for a walk. That's certainly helpful. Um, I just implemented working back out of late, and that's been a big stress reliever. Sometimes, even though it's not a good thing, sometimes eating my favorite comfort food. I have to be careful of that though. And mm, reading reading something that words of inspiration
Mm,
comes to mind some of the time when I'm in that dark space. That helps. So and also just opening it up and talking to my wife or either friends, who have that listening ear. I hate to drop any negativity on them or ruin their day, but you
mhm,
know the friends that you have that have your back and don't mind listening and giving you advice on certain things that you may be going through.
mhm.
So those are things I like to do as far as a reset.
I'm guilty of that, A Money, and I think I put myself in a unnecessary position. I was going to say worse, but I'll say unnecessary, because I'm always thinking about what they may be going through. I don't want to call them and put this on them. I don't want to
Mm,
talk to, I don't want to vent. I don't want to. And so I wind up kind of feeling lonely, feeling like I don't have anybody to talk to. But it's not about not having anybody to talk to. It's
absolutely.
that I choose, not to. You know, my youngest just told me today, like, Mom, you need to talk to your friends. Like, you just need to be transparent and talk to them. And I was just like, you know what? You're right. You are
Hmm.
right. You're right.
Wisdom from a child. Well,
That's
she's
what,
not a
look.
child, but but a lot of times they look at stuff basic, just
Right.
basic simplicity, and
Right.
some of the time we be thinking 12 steps ahead some of the time, and sometimes it's just as simple as what she just stated. Let's see. Yeah. So also, and we talked about this in one or two of our episodes about seeking counseling as well. And I haven't got to that place where I I'm still trying to. I know that it's a excellent option as far as some of the time you may come across a situation where you might need professional counseling.
Yes.
um I think you remember how we were talking one time about how it was when we were growing up, it was considered a bad thing to do to
Right.
look for
Right.
counseling. But I'm starting to get to the point now, even though yet still have not actually used it, but I think that is an excellent option as far as being able to talk to a professional as well, who may be able to provide you guidance in dealing with some of the life stresses and things that um, you may be going through at that particular time.
I think that therapy is great. I actually had a session today. Um,
Oh, did you?
I did. Um, when one of the benefits of working from home is I can do that on my lunch when I'm, here.
Yes.
I don't have to take it and go into my car and all that kind of stuff. It's just a different feel. Um, so it's been a while since I've done a like midday session during a week, and I did that today, and I feel better because what people have to understand is that therapy is to provide you with tools to help navigate and process what may affect you, whether it's mentally, whether it's emotionally. It is not and does not give you answers, it just gives you clarity. And so when you start changing your way of thinking about therapy, um, I think you'll wind up being a little more open to trying it. Um, some people feel like it's not a, I'm not going to talk and tell this person my business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but people already know your business. Like, they may not know exactly what you're going through, but anybody that's lived a little bit of life can tell that your whole body language is telling it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes. So that's a other thing I was just about to bring up because you just kind of touched on it. So when you are going through those particular situations, um, and you have friends that notice certain changes in you. Sometimes they may or may not, depending on how in tune you are with that person. But whenever you do, are you accepting of talking to them about it or opening it up? Um, I know me personally, sometimes, I don't know if it's the same thing with you, but I know my wife, she knows it. My mom and dad knows it. If something is going on with me, it'll show in my face. I can't. Sometimes it's hard, especially just anger or something. It's kind of hard to hide. Uh, and I'm trying to be better about recognizing this and talking more about it. I'm kind of one of those individuals who don't like to share a whole lot of information, but you know, God, I think God actually he didn't put us on this earth not to be able to depend on one another, and I think that's important too. And me reflecting back on it now, I can see the advantages of being able to do that. It's a lot. Me speaking on my behalf personally, I think me is more pride than anything. It's like, you're a man, you got to, you know, you can't show
It's
any
a man
emotion.
thing,
Yeah,
Gina. It's a man
yeah,
thing.
absolutely. We have been raised, and I'm not saying all of us, but speaking from the male point of view, we've been raised to don't cry, don't show emotions, toughen up, and things of this nature. And a lot of that building block you carry on with you as an adult, and it's hard just really open up, even to your closest confidants. Even sometimes me, you know. My wife sometimes in certain instances I don't want to worry her or my friends or something, it's but it's
Mhm,
same mindset as well.
mhm. I think that we, especially as Black people, I'm just going to say that for right now, we as Black people, because our history and our culture and our lack of knowledge of our ancestors, um, is just now coming forth within the last, say, 2 or 3 generations, where you could really, really say, okay, this is what used to happen, or here's research that's been done. We forget that we were raised, we were raised in of a village, a tribe, where we shared the load.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes, we shared each other's burdens. Um, I think about ants. I know this may sound weird, but you may see an ant, and that's that ant's job. That's the scout, to go and find something, find a place to eat, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to that scout going back to the colony, if he has anything, or if there's more that needs to be brought back to the colony, then there's a system that is, so they all share it. They
Yes.
all carry it. They all
Mm-hmm.
share the burden or the weight. And so, you know, I think about, if God designed life, he created life, he created the function of
Yes.
that species, that creature. And he made it so that he designed it where they survive in numbers. Then how do you feel that he cared more about an ant than you,
Mm-hmm.
that you would not have that same support system?
Well said. That's a great example. So I see we got a couple of viewers coming in. So just to reset, what we're talking about is, so what you're talking about Wednesday. However, the topic that we're discussing right now is when life throws you a curveball and you're going through it, what methods are your reset methods to help you get through whatever's going on at that particular time? Again, I think that was a good suggestion, Melissa, as far, and then your answers as well, as far as, yeah, that's something that, a lot of people don't discuss. I know we like to have fun and everything. We still try to keep it
Yeah,
lively, but that is certainly an important discussion that I don't think a whole lot of people like to delve in a lot, because is we all are going through something, and some
we
more
are.
so than others.
Yeah.
And so,
Look, we're sometimes having the bat when life is throwing you a curveball, and then sometimes you're standing up there with nothing at all, and life is still
yes,
throwing curveballs.
yes. So, our other brother, Trav Perry, thank you for joining us. He said, "Good evening, good brothers and sisters." So, Trav, I don't know if you heard what the statement was today as far as what we're currently discussing. What, if not, what are your reset options that you implement whenever life is pretty much stepping on you, or you're just having a hard time dealing with life at that point in time? What do you do to help reset or take your mind and get your mind back in a better space? We're sharing and opening up tonight.
We're warm and fuzzy tonight.
Yes.
I have another spin on that too.
Hey,
Hi,
Letitia.
Letitia.
Peace, family. Right back at you, sis. So I hope
Um,
that you heard it as well, Letitia. Please share your thoughts on it as well. I'm sorry, Melissa. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. So you're not going through anything, or
Mm-hmm.
you okay? You and leveled out. What are some of the things that you may provide for somebody who are going through something?
Hmm. I guess more so. This is me again. I guess more so, what I try to provide for somebody who may be going through something is, I think more than anything, people like to get that burden off their chest.
Mhm.
I like to provide, and again, I hate to bring up me and your signs, but Leos, I think we are caretakers and great listeners, and that's what I like to provide to any and all my friends. I always try to let them know that need to talk about something. I'm here. I'm here. I think that's the biggest thing. The biggest gift that you can give anybody is just allowing them to get off what they have on their chest and that may be burdening them. How about you?
I remember when we used to work together, and I was like kind of going through it with stuff at the job, and you came over, you said, "Bring your lunch today," and I was like, "Yeah, but I don't really want it." And we went to Bojangles. We got our double fries, and you was talking about eating the fries. And Terry gonna get you. Queen T might get you
Oh
because you
yeah.
had double fries. But
Yes.
it really wasn't about talking about what was going on. You gave me a you gave me a change of atmosphere. You gave me respite, just engaging in a different type of energy. And
Mm,
so, that helped me out a lot because sometimes as people talking about what's going on, yeah, you need to get off your chest every now and then, but sometimes you've been dealing with it so much, you don't really want to talk about it.
that's true. That's a good
But you
point too.
do want to have a change in your function. You want to have a change in, okay, I need something to help distract me from it. I need something to help me give me something else to experience other than this drama or this pain or this, cloudiness or this anxiety or this sadness. You need something else. So I can tell you, as being my friend, you have provided that for me, where it wasn't even about, well, I know you're going through something. But you could tell by my face, you could tell by my body language, like I just needed a break.
Well, I appreciate that, sis. And it's not too many people that you can trust like that, like you and Carrie. I got a couple of other tribes members who I just feel like you can tell anything to and feel comforted that is pretty much between the
Mm-hmm.
tribe and everything, and you're not
Mm-hmm.
being judged. And I think that is so important to have. It could even be your siblings, your brothers or sisters, if you got that type of relationship with them as well. But I think that particular example that you gave, just taking you out of the element at that time,
Mm-hmm.
that can be helpful as well. You're so right. So excuse me. So Letitia, she said, I normally disconnect from all social media platforms, meditate and fast. That is good. That is good. Melissa just got through talking about meditating as one of her options to go to as well. Now, I have to admit, I haven't did either one of the two. Definitely the fasting part, but I might need to incorporate that into one of my options, one of my go-to options as well.
I probably need to because I'm an emotional eater. So I
Yes,
probably need to fast
yes,
versus indulging in peanut M&Ms and
yeah,
chips.
yeah. But I will say, before I get to Trav's comment, the longer that I am married, I can when I say wife, she's like uh dog. She's my best friend, my counselor, my oh gosh, feel like my pastor some of the time. uh, but I say all that to say this. especially when it's in house. It brings so much comfort whenever
Mhm.
you can actually go to your spouse about your concerns and everything of that nature. And if not married or anything, just being able to have that again, that listening ear of a good friend, or like you said, somebody who knows that something may be going on and getting you out of that particular element at that time, to trying to clear your head. I think those are very important. So Trav says, for me, standing in the mirror, cutting my hair, and giving myself a affirmation. I'm sorry. The Clippers renew, refresh what I see. I walk out of the bathroom knowing tomorrow is a new day and a new play. Oh, that's
Woo-hoo.
deep right there.
That's
That's
right.
deep. Self
Wow.
care. Self
Self care.
care. I can dig that. I feel you,
And we're not
Trav.
gonna glaze over what you just said about Queen T, because once again, I have praised you and Carrie on not only what and how y'all are as men, but as husbands. And having the queens, I do refer to my beautiful sisters as queens, but I literally call Queen Renee and Queen Tara what they are, because they are that. They take care of you guys. They make sure that they keep you in check, and not in a check. I mean, literally, they look out for your well being. And sometimes they're doing it and looking so far ahead, you don't even know that they're doing it. And you
Hmm.
cannot, it's a privilege. There's a lot of people that may live with somebody, may be married in a relationship, and they don't know what it's like to say, my spouse is my best friend. You call her or text her, or she might send you something, and you be like, Dad, how she know that was just what I needed to hear? Or how she know, you know, that's a very honorable privilege to have.
Oh yes, it most
And a
certainly
lot of
is.
people don't have it.
It most certainly is. You're so right about that, Melissa. Um, let's see. Letitia said, "Nature and water are my pacifiers as well."
Okay.
Ah, okay, nothing wrong with that. Joy in nature, yeah, I can see that. That's where we were talking about going on the walks, Mel. I know, shoot, me and my wife we walking the track a couple of times, and you know what? That is a good release. It's being in nature.
And Charlotte has a number of walking trails and nature trails.
Yeah, I had to take advantage of those.
Yeah, take advantage of those. But you need to
Hmm.
be prepared, because it is all nature. And sometimes, depending on what's prevalent or in season,
Uh, uh,
depending on when you go walk, ain't no telling what you might run into on
oh
those
yeah,
nature trails. I mean, they are
yeah,
pretty, they are safe and stuff like that. I'm not saying it that way, but I mean, it's nature. It's their place to live. It's their habitat.
absolutely. Yeah, you're right about that. I haven't walked one in a while, but it has been one or two times that I have, and I've seen some unexpected stuff as far as animals and reptiles. I don't do
Yes.
snakes like that, but I done came
Yeah.
across those a couple of times. And
And
I'm a
bugs.
man. I'm a
Like, what in
man.
the world?
I'm a man about mine, but you might hear me screaming like a little girl. No shame in my game. No shame in my game.
You might be talking to me and you be by yourself. Like, why is she answering? Because she is gone the other way. Okay.
That too. That too. You are right about that. You're right about that. Oh, so I don't know how many other ways we can take this one, Mel. Have we done talked this particular topic up and done with, or
I want
is
to also bring up or get your opinion on speaking up for yourself.
speaking up for yourself?
Like, when you're, whether it be spouse, partner, coworker, sometimes you're so conscious of the other person's feelings that you neglect your own and needing to say something, or you need to get something off of your chest. Um, I think women get a bad rep because we
Hmm.
do seem to be more expressive, but a lot of times we're not saying what needs to be said, if that makes sense.
I think I
We're
follow you.
expressive vocally, but we don't say what needs to be said.
I,
So how do you, or what advice would you give to actually speak up for yourself?
mm, and this is it. This isn't in a specific situation though, right? This
It's
is
not. I'm
any.
not going to put it in a specific situation. I'm just going to say in whatever situation that makes you feel like, all right, I didn't like what happened. I need to speak up. I need to advocate for my feelings.
Oh, that's a good one. Well, I know, again, speaking on me personally, I had a problem with speaking up for myself for um, probably the first, up until I was mm, up to about the middle of my 20s. Um, I think it's important though that people, that you do stand up for yourself. If it's something that's bothering you, or you feel disrespected in any kind of way, it's important to do that. But you remember how I told you that we're, again, here go Leos, naturally nurturers.
Mm.
We don't start nothing, we finish it though. But I always been one of those type that, if it isn't, if it's something tolerable, I just roll with the punches. And you know that's my half of my sign, just keep the status quo. But now, as I done got a little older, and I start to see what some of the my elders would be saying, and seeing now, how them our elders, you can't they can't hold their tongues. And I'm starting to notice now that I'm having problems holding mine. So I don't really have a problem right now as being able to just speak up for myself. And you know what? It's really refreshing to be able to do so too now. The only tricky part is actually how I phrase it. That's the key thing. But it is an importance
Mm.
in being able to do that for yourself, because um, you as an individual is just as important as the person that you're dealing with, and that you may have the conflict with or situation with at that time. So everybody's feelings should be taken into account, whether they know it or not. It's important for it to be brought up so they know and can make the necessary adjustments to correct it. So just being brave, and just speaking your mind, and letting the individual know. And actually, it's only fair for you to do that, because they may not even know that they're overstepping their boundaries in whatever situation it may be.
uh gotta It says I've been married for 17 years. I just started speaking up for myself against my wife. I shouldn't say against. However, I'm always reminded of a story that I read about a husband and wife that had been together for so long. And the wife will always give her husband the leg of the chicken. And he finally one day told her that he never liked it, even though he's been eating it all these times. And she asked, "Why didn't you ever say anything?" And he said, "Because I was scared that you wouldn't cook anymore at all." I go, "What?"
Oh no.
But I think that it's harder to advocate for yourself in vulnerability
Hmm.
when you love somebody
True.
versus when in anger.
So true. So true.
I
Dog,
think when you're at a place of being vulnerable,
mm-hmm.
when you're in a place of humility, it's harder for you to speak up for yourself versus when you're in a place of defense, you're in a place of anger because you telling them.
Yes.
But when you telling them, you're not really telling them, you're talking at them. But when you need to talk to somebody, you got to bring that down. And I think it's hard.
It can be. Oh, that's a good one, Melissa. And take that into account. Uh, Trying to stand up for yourself when you are in that vulnerable state. Yeah, I done been there, done that. That's for sure.
You know me. I'm
Hmm.
a I'm a fighter. What Trav say? You got to affirm your position in the situation. When you speaking from the position of a husband or a wife to your spouse, you can't speak from the position of a friend. Same things apply to being a parent and a child.
Mm, I say that brother be bringing it.
Yes, he
Be
does.
bringing
Yes,
it.
he does. Yes, he
That,
does. You
that
should
is
not treat your spouse like I let me in my opinion, let me
Mhm,
put in
mhm,
my opinion.
mhm.
I feel that relationships are important. I feel that communication is important. I feel that when you are having any type of engagement with your spouse, it can reflect how you may treat friends or family, but it should be very unique to your spouse.
True.
It should be an exclusive behavior and language that only you and your spouse share.
This is so true. That's a good point. And hmm, s- and you know the fun part is that you still learning each other. Shoot, I've been married for about ooh,
Get it right. Get it right. You better get it right. You better get it right.
20 24 years, and I can say that we still learning, and you know that's the fun part because you don't want it to get stale, so to speak. Not saying that it would, but and I don't think in anybody's marriage you don't stop learning something about the individual.
Hmm.
I don't think so. Um, Yeah, that's a cool part about being married, and just it's still a lot to learn. I don't care how long you've been married, and you recognize stuff.
But that's when you care enough to learn because
Yes.
devil's advocate, you may be changing because you're changing. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're not married to somebody who not only can admit that they are changing, but also respect your changes enough to pay attention, enough to want to learn what the new things are, it can then become a wedge between y'all
True. True. Uh,
because you got stuck into the very routine, very, even kill, like you said, the kind of like stagnant. And now it's almost like I gotta do something different. Like you kind of get this energy like, dang, I'm
mm-hmm.
cool with like how it was. I gotta
Yep.
do this. Like, are
Yeah.
you serious? So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it definitely can, if you don't look at it and think of it as, yo, dang, my wife, she never really wanted to wear. I mean, something as simple as she might not ever wore tank tops, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I noticed that she wearing tank tops now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I see you. I chill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm all right.
There you
That's
go.
that's the stuff that keeps marriages going. That's the stuff that
Absolutely.
keep you being like, oh, or her
Mm-hmm.
saying, okay, he noticed that. Let me try something different. Let me try to surprise him. As long as you're trying to do something with that other person and
Mm-hmm.
learn that other
Mm-hmm.
person, you're gonna always have life.
Absolutely. You hit that spot on. I couldn't say that any better myself. So,
Ooh, the first three first sentence. Truth without compassion and empathy is brutality. It is hard to speak truth to our spouse and children because we're afraid to be brutal. Trad, you can put the bow on that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that up there for another minute because that is so true.
And I think if we just like when you get angry, my bro, you've been around me long enough. Sometimes stuff I be saying stuff and I don't need to say stuff. Y'all, Adrian gives me this face. I know I went too far. And
Me and Carrie both do.
through that. Or I'll look at you and you just be like, so I have to make sure that I am speaking with compassion and empathy. So it has taught me to be careful about what I say. And my youngest has been my teacher and my accountability partner in this area right now.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I could be so brutal, but when it comes from your baby, you be like, dang, I didn't even know I said it like that, or I didn't mean it that way, or I was defensive, and I
Yeah.
had to take note and say, yo, you gotta change. You got to change how you talk.
Did she have a hard time approaching you about it, or
Absolutely not. She's
okay?
my baby.
That is cool right there.
To the point where I was like, fight me, Brianna, fight me.
Now that is cool that y'all have a relationship like that where she feel comfortable enough to, hey mom, what's going on? Something ain't looking right. Might want to rethink that, and just have that comfort level to be able to talk to you like that or discuss that with you like that. That's so cool.
Yeah, she's like, look, so we need to talk. What? When you said da 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 da, I didn't like that. It hurt my feelings, or I felt like you were putting me down. Like she is straight to the point. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. My bad. Um,
Mm,
and yeah, you just kind of got to roll with it, like because they're only helping you be better.
this is true. This is true. I can say it any better than that, Mel. Yeah. Hmm,
You have adult children,
I
you
do.
know.
I do. I do. And it's some things I need to work on with them as far as what I do around them. Um,
Hmm.
so I have. Hey, we all family, so you know, I have some bad habits. You know, brother like to come in and have a nice adult beverage every now and then. Uh, but what I do is use that to unwind, and what it's developing into, and I don't want it to get to that point, is a crutch because you should never
Hmm.
actually have to use anything like that to unwind.
Hmm.
We just
Hmm.
got through talking about different options to help you reset,
Right, right.
and those are the things that I have to start paying closer attention to and actually implementing. So, a matter of fact, after this show, not saying that I was gonna have a fine adult beverage, not denying it either, but I'm gonna start implementing what we've been talking about as far as
as a
reset.
as an alternative instead of that being your first. I mean, me and my gummies, it's like
Hmm.
every day, like honey, between the hours of 7 and 9, I'm on the moon. But I
Yes.
mean, I was like, oh, okay. Even one of my friends was like, you might be becoming addicted to those things. I was like,
Mhm.
I am not, and he challenged me like every day, like I don't want you every day. Let's see how long you could go. And I was like, okay. And
Mhm.
it did me good because sometimes it's not even about it being a crutch. It's just the fact that it's a routine.
Yes,
Like you've
yes.
implemented this into your routine, and now you are like dependent on it, and you don't know how it happened,
Mm-hmm.
but you
Yes.
implemented it into a routine that makes sure that it gets energy. And so I'm like, okay, I'm very intentional. I don't apologize for it. If I'm going to have a gummy, I'm going to have a gummy. I don't care. But I am very intentional on when I do and when I don't.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You have to be careful because it can sneak up on you. Like you said, it can become like you said, habit. That's when you have to start to kind of step back and look at it a little harder. So we got another one from Trav, Mel.
Let me see. When you truly care for one another, it's hard to find the words to truly express how you feel when the feeling ain't right. This is not a bad thing. Most marriages experience this when one stop caring, they'll say anything.
Mm,
Yep. Yep. Because they're not guarding. My mother told me when I first got married to guard your house and your marriage with your heart.
mm.
And so if you don't care, your heart is your motor, is your engine to promote caring. When you don't care, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
don't care
true.
what you do. You don't care what you say.
Mm-hmm.
You don't care how you act. You don't care.
Yeah, that is so true. Trav, we appreciate you dropping dropping that nugget of knowledge as well. And for family out there, if you get an opportunity, check Trav out on his personal Facebook, Trav Perry, on Thursday nights. And you
Good night.
can correct me, Trav. I want to say you go live at 8, if I remember right. But if not, you can drop it in the comments of what time you go live. But Trav be dropping some knowledge, man. Feel like I be going to church listening to him. But yeah, keep it up, Trav. And you need to hurry up and start on this book of your mom's her sayings for her. Also, when I say that you got a wealth, and I am in awe of some of the stuff that you always said that your mom would be telling you that you all were growing up, and I'm talking
I
about.
should have listened better.
Hey, hey, but you know what? It's like she planted the seed. It may
Yeah,
not be meant for you to actually receive at that time, but
right,
you end up receiving it when it was needed.
right, right. It's definitely flourished, and I do see. Um, I remember there was a meme that came out a couple years ago, and it said, "I opened my mouth and my mom came out." Like there was. Sometimes I'll be like, "Ooh, that sounds just like Margaret right then."
Hmm. Hmm. That's
But
how you.
yeah, I need to. I need help. I know Kerry got a lot on his plate, but we have quite a few people that have written books in our viewership that, you know, I need help, y'all. I need help getting started. I need help on what to do and how to do. I have the content. I just don't know how to get started. So anybody that can help me,
I'm sure
please.
somebody be reaching out to you. Hey, message us on at the roundtable messenger with any suggestions or either a number or contact information that you can reach out to you on because like I said, the content is gonna be fire. I already know that without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I got stories. I got sent. My mother, yeah, she was a woman that I feel unsung. I feel she was an unsung for sure.
Mm,
The people who knew her, but so many people I wish they got to know her because she truly brought a lot. She was more than what meets the eye.
yeah, see, well, some of them quotes you be dropping, boy. I said, oh, sound like a Maya Angelou, just dropping jewels left and right. So I know she did good raising you and the rest of your siblings because I can see it taking root in you and some of the stuff that you reference back to that she taught you all over the years.
For sure. For sure. Shout out to do you remember Devontae? that we had on the show, the young
I'm,
man
I most
who was
certainly
the
do. Hmm.
so he is doing a play in Pittsburgh next weekend.
Oh, your stomping
And
grounds.
it is it's a poetic play. So that's going to be very interesting. Um I had that spin on it. You know, having a play that's basically all poems.
Wow, that's deep. Oh,
He
and he,
Devontae Butler, that's his name. And the play is called Finding the Kingdom.
so he said when it's going to be starting.
It is October 15th.
So I know we got some followers in Pittsburgh now. So if you're able to attend, show the man some support. Go out there and support this young brother because like I said he doing positive things, and we like support positivity. So I appreciate you bringing it up, Mel, and sharing that with the group.
Yes, there's tickets on Event Planner, or no, Eventbrite. Eventbrite. Get your ticket. Nice day to stay to spend a Saturday evening. Um, so I'm excited about it. He actually reached out to me, but there was no way that I was going to be able to participate. Um,
Oh, he wanted you in it.
yeah,
Oh, nice,
some of
nice.
those pieces, put some of those pieces that I write to life.
Hmm.
Um, and I just want to put this out here because I had somebody inbox me. Please don't take anything that I write or I post. My inspiration come from life. Period. Some pieces are personal. A lot of them are just what I've been inspired to write. They hit me while I'm cooking. They hit me while I'm just chilling. I might
Hmm.
be in Target. I mean, depending on what it is, it just hits me. So it's life. So I don't need you, if you read something, I don't need you inboxing me like, oh my God, are you okay? It's really not that deep. It's really
Gotcha,
not.
gotcha. Yeah, inspiration hits you at any given time, and I'm sure that you have to put pen to paper whenever it does.
I still do. I am still a writer to, writing it down. If I am out somewhere where I don't have a pen or paper, I'll use my voice memo.
Mm,
But even at that, I'll come back to, writing. So
hmm. Hmm. So once again, circling back around, any publishing companies. A matter of fact, I know one.
you know one.
Page Publishing. If I remember, I think that's because I interviewed this young lady, Erica Page, on Charlotte in the Know, and I'll see if I can dig up her information after the show or either tomorrow to send to you. She
Okay.
she sounds like she might be a good person to work with. One of my friends' wives.
Because that's
So yeah.
the second book is uh publishing my pieces along with my cousin, rest in heaven. Um, we were both poets. We both wrote poetry, and I
Oh
would
wow.
love to get her pieces published and mine. That'll be the second book.
You gonna have to share one with us one day now on this live and give everybody what they've been waiting for. We done heard about you a couple of times now. You haven't gave the people what they wanted. They want to hear it. They want to hear a little bit of something. I ain't gonna put you on the spot to do it now,
You
but
know, I am a writer. I am not a performer, but I mean, it happens. I mean,
mhm.
I used to back in the day when oh my God, this is when Liquid Lounge was open. No, Aqua Lounge. I think it was called Aqua Lounge uptown back in the day. They used to
No.
have poetry night.
Yeah, I think I heard of them. It was a couple of spots I think that were doing that at one point in time. I always wanted to sit in on them. I was big in jazz too. And
Hmm.
we don't have nothing around here like that anymore too quick.
We don't. And a lot of people try. And I think Uptown was like the ideal spot. But I
Hmm.
mean, the
I'll
real
travel.
estate is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll
Is
travel.
too much. Yeah.
I'll travel for it. If it's on the outskirts of Charlotte or in the surrounding areas of Charlotte, I'll travel to it. Just do it. Just do it.
So I look. This is one I wrote for my mother because
Oh, what? Wait a minute. Oh, you gonna do one that? Oh, let me sit back for this.
I
Go
knew
ahead.
she was I knew she was dying.
Okay.
So this is one that I wrote just because it just came to me and I used it in her obituary.
Okay.
So it says, "There's never a time to love and care more than when the end is near. Give me your words and kisses now, and I'll hold them as memories. This I vow. And now, when the sun has set on my face, and I know that I'll take all your love. Wait, I'm getting a phone call. And when the sun has set on my face, and I've known that I take and I'm not gonna get choked up. Let me
You
start
fine.
over.
Take your time.
There's never a time to love and care more than when the end is near. Give me your words and kisses now, and I'll hold them as memories. This I vow. And when the sun has set on my face and I reach my final resting place, know that I've taken all the love you've shown, put them under my pillow in my new home. Love me now as I love you then. Love me now. It's near the end. I wrote this in 2010 when she
Mm,
passed.
mm, mm, mm. That was that was. Whew. First, I had to snap on that. Then I had to say that was straight fire. Then it was moving. It was a gambit of different emotions going on right there. That was deep right there. That's. I know you were so talented. Appreciate you reading that. Seriously, no, except that is certainly a gift to be able to do something like that. That was
But I
good.
don't perform my pieces and I need to get into doing that. I can write them on paper and, let you read them. But
Or I give you something else. Another idea.
what?
Writing cards.
That's what I want to do.
That you
I
sound.
want to write cards. Like, oh my God, that's exactly what I want to do. I really want to, because you get cards and they're so, I want to
Hmm.
make it personal. Like, I want somebody to come to me and be like, hey, I want to, me and my wife is going to be married 25 years. I want to give her a special anniversary card. I want to sit down and talk to you, you would tell me how you feel. I want you to tell me one of the things that you remember as a special time. So I
Mm.
can implement that into that. And she knows, or he knows, that this card was written just for them.
Mm, you might you might have an idea there. You might need to go ahead and start spinning that.
That's what I
I
really
can
want to
I
do.
can I can see a market for that. People wanting to have a specific card specifically for whoever is meant to read it.
Yep.
It's more personal than what you can find in a store or where have you.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. Do it, Mal. Do it. I said, shoot, we getting to the point right now where I hate to say it, I think we at the halfway mark or getting near the halfway mark of our
You
time
right.
on this earth.
You
So
right.
the other half, we might well enjoy doing what we love doing.
Better enjoy doing what you're doing. I think I have
Hmm.
to dealing with my stuff in my life. Um I have not been very inspired. Um so it's been hard. So when I get those bursts, I have to move on them because they don't last that long.
I
There
see.
would be a time I used to could write and then I write another piece and then I write another piece and I would be going like hours. Like I wouldn't even realize it. Or
Mm,
I would take that creativity and I would work it into some candles or work it into some wreaths or whatever the case. Like I would just be good. And
Yeah.
it's very hard as of lately to stay inspired. So
Mhm.
I think doing it maybe will help promote
Oh, it
more.
would. I believe it would. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, when you got a gift like that, share it with the world. Like I said, I can tell that you got a passion for and a love for it already.
I think
But
I can't tell you what movie it's from, but I was watching this movie and it said, love is infinite. We can make as much of it as we want, or you can make as much of it as you need, something like that. And I was just like blown away
mm,
by that one line in
mm,
the movie. Like, oh, wow,
yeah, that's the true currency of the world right there.
it is. It
Hmm.
is. And that's why they're trying to smother it,
Yes.
because it's the true currency, it's the true connection, it's the, it is truly the healer.
Hmm.
Um, and
Hmm.
they want to smother it, they want to monetize it and commercialize it and use it for um like they can put it in a pill, so when things get too bad, go ahead and pop this. And but we're not going to change what's causing people to lack love, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it looks like we done hit that point of time where I
Hmm.
know, I know. It goes by so quick. But this has been a fun discussion. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and you got any last words? I think we're gonna do it a little different tonight. I'm gonna share before we sign off who we having on next week and
Oh
get
yes.
everybody prepared. I think I already messaged you, so go ahead and let them know who we got.
Well, I got to do it.
Hey.
We're having our favorite sexologist on next week, Miss Liz.
Mm-hmm.
Liz, the sex expert. Um,
Yes.
and we're gonna have a whole different line of questioning because she is expecting. She's close to her first child being born,
Hmm.
correct?
Yeah. As far as I know, she's still expecting.
So
So,
I'm super excited to see her, and I actually watched the last time we had her on the show,
oh really?
and that's when we realized how young she was.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Had me feeling like an old man.
Felt dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, why
Yeah.
are we talking about this with you? Wait a second.
That's
If your third digit in your birth year start with a 9, I'm confused.
exactly. So if you have any questions that you want to share, or if you want to message us and keep it confidential ahead of time, we'll read the comments and share it with Liz and have her get her thoughts on it as well. You message us on our at the Round Table Facebook page, and
Right,
while you're
right.
doing so, share the video. You can follow us on all major podcast platforms, so like us there as well and leave comments. We greatly appreciate it. As Mel once said before, sometimes we go back and re-comments that are posted later, and we appreciate everybody engagement.
Yes.
But yeah, so if there's nothing else, Mel, you got anything to sign off with?
I'm just grateful for my village. And I'm grateful that learning to trust the true people that I know I
Hmm.
can go to. I told y'all before, my Chad Boswick circle, I was striving to have one of those. And I feel like now I have a Chad Boswick circle,
There you
and
go.
I am ready because
There you
you
go.
got them people who didn't say a word,
Hmm. Hmm.
a
True that.
word, and that's who I hold dear to me. So I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. And for me, everybody be safe. Still keep the people in Florida and uh, who else? What other island was that? Real quick, it's another island that got hit by a hurricane. Is it hey, it's not Hades, is it?
Mm-mm.
Gosh. Well, just keep any and everybody in prayer that's had recently went through a disaster or either going through something right now. Um, just continue to love on one another and be blessed. And if the what's the old saying go, the creek don't rise. Or something. hopefully, hopefully we'll see y'all next week with our special guest Liz Maulers. So be blessed, everybody, and have a good rest of the evening. Thank you for joining.